What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat. We're here today with the 17th episode, if I'm correct, of our Shadowrun Returns playthrough. Now, we had just finished off with some interesting situations. We had ended up fighting with the Universal Brotherhood, who had a huge horde of just nasty, unkillable bugs, which was a big problem for us, but we ended up coming out in one piece, which is great. So, it says the Union. Getting justice for Sam is going to take more effort than it originally appeared. You didn't anticipate his killer being protected by a cult filled with giant, unkillable bugs. But she is, and if you're going to get to her, you're going to need to find a way around or through those things. After a taste of the belonging that the Universal Brotherhood offered, the sordid surroundings of the Seamstress Union feel more like home than ever. So let's get in here, and I don't even know what the next step of this whole thing's going to be. This game seems to be punctuated quite frequently. A load of dialogue followed by just loads and loads of combat, and that's basically how it alternates. Let's talk to Coyote first and see what she's got to say about the whole thing. Coyote's face is pale and her voice is low and shaky. What in the hell was that back there, man? Just what the frag was that? Well, it looks like the Brotherhood's been transforming their followers into bugs. And Sam's sister is their leader. If I didn't see it, then there's no way I'd believe it. Giant, unkillable bugs. She shudders and shakes it off. Well, fine, whatever. I want that woman dead now more than ever. If you go after her again, you think of me, okay? I'll be around, locked and loaded. Yeah, if I go after her again, I'll think of you. You do that. Let's see what Cherry Bomb's got to say. Anybody that's flagged, I tend to want to talk to. Hey there, Splattercat. Johnny Clean asked me to flag you down the minute I saw you. He said he's got someone that wants to talk to you. He sounded a little freaked out about it. He's waiting for you downstairs. You say who it was? I can't remember. He made it sound like royalty, though. You know someone called the Duke or something like that? The Baron? Yeah, I think that's it. Well, I gotta go. I gotta get these people drunk. She turns back to her needy customers. Looks like old Johnny Bartlett's got something to say, too. Oh, May, you looking to hire the best or just some common rabble? The best, of course. You got it. Look up the Nephilim Network next time you're hiring and you won't be sorry. Oh, I think he already did this spiel. I'm not sure why it reflagged it. I'm almost positive we've already done that talk. Let's see who is this over here? Mr. Johnson. The man sizes you up as you approach. His carefully groomed hair and the shine on his shoes seems out of place for the Barons. Hey, you looking for work? I got a little something if you're up for it. It's a milk run. Well, in my experience, it's never a milk run. He grins, exposing a set of unnaturally white teeth. Don't worry. This one's as straightforward as they come. The job's a simple extraction. The people I represent are interested in acquiring the talents of a scientist named Seda. Unfortunately, Mr. Seda is currently engaged with Renraku. It means he's engaged for life. That doesn't sit well with the people I represent. They see it as a subversion of what we would call the free market. And so you want me to secure Mr. Seda's freedom to work for your people instead. He flashes his pearly whites again. Exactly, but it has to be now. Renraku's shipping Seda out of Seattle in the morning for some sort of overseas research project. Tonight he's being kept at a hidden research facility out here in the Barrens. Just a couple of miles from here, actually. I hear they've been bringing in some unmarked shipments for weeks now, thinking that nobody notices. We don't care about any of that. We just want Seda before he's out of our reach. The place should be lightly guarded, probably rent-a-cops. Get in, grab Seda, and get out. In exchange, I'm authorized to remit 9,000 new yen in payment. He fixes you with a hard stare. I am not, however, authorized to negotiate. Alright, let's see the new yen. We pay on delivery, friend. That's how it always works. I'll send the lab's location to your PDA. Hire a team and head there right away. Liberate Seda and deliver him to my employers. They'll have a car waiting outside the lab when you're done. Once Mr. Seda's on his way, meet me back here for payment. Oh, that's no good because we're broke at the moment. Yeah, we got 31 new yen, so our chances of doing that job have diminished quite a bit, actually. I'm not really sure how that one's going to go through. Let's look around and see if there's anybody else who's willing to throw us some scratch. Otherwise, I don't think we're actually going to even have a team for that job. Hello, stranger. I'm busy right now, so I hope you've got something that's worth my time. How about a list of every politician the Universal Brotherhood has bribed to date? I could certainly find someone interested in that information. It'll take some legwork to verify the veracity of such a list, though. So how about 2,000? Well, the info's about to be worth a lot more in a few days. And what? I'm supposed to take your word for it? He makes eye contact, but hesitates. You know what? Fine. I'll speculate, but only because I can find you if this doesn't pan out. 2,500. No more. So we've made a little bit of cash. I'm still worried about the possibility of any type of run, though, against Renraku. Running against Renraku, if you don't know, Renraku is one of the most powerful mega conglomerates on the planet right now, and making any run against them is seeming pretty shaky in my books. So I don't know if we can actually negate that job, but yo, guy, have we met? You look familiar. I meet a lot of people, no problem. You need some brain benders tonight. I've got some of that merc stuff, freakers, taxi drivers, you know. Well, let me see what you've got. Kamikazes, jazz, all that kind of stuff. We have anything in our stash that I could possibly unload here? Looking how broke we are, I feel pretty nervous about any sort of transaction of the sort. Got a little bit of that, a little bit of this. We've got some basic med kits that I'm willing to part with, so we'll probably get rid of those just to make a little bit of extra cash. Maybe get rid of some trauma kits too, just to make sure we've got a little bit of cash for this run that's coming up. I don't think we're going to be able to hire much with what we've got, but the fact that he called it a milk run, if you're not familiar with the slang, a milk run means that it's supposedly an easy job, but anytime they say that kind of stuff makes me nervous. You alright, Splattercat? Battered, bruised, and beaten. But not yet beaten, I mean. I heard you made trouble with the Universal Brotherhood. Stirred up a hornet's nest, you might say. People are starting to say there's some dark dreck going on down in those chapter houses. Like they're taking advantage of the poor folk who go there looking for help. Gotta say, it sort of makes my blood boil. It's bad enough that the government labels half the population as probationary citizens. We don't need more people preying on the most defenseless members of society. And I hate to bring race into it, but it's a fact that the good number of people that go into the Brotherhood for help are metas like myself. You know, what options do we have, though? You realize that it would take an act of Congress to grant me full citizenship, and yet, to do it, they only have to go once. Wars are started more easily than a meta gets a serial number in this country. So it's no wonder we turn to people like the Brotherhood who claim to listen to our woes and speak on our behalf. He catches himself, takes a breath, and visibly calms. I'm sorry. I just know some folks that went to the Brotherhood for these very reasons. I might have ended up myself there if Miss Kubota hadn't taken me in. Whatever's going on down there, I trust you'll put an end to it one way or the other. Yeah, I have one very specific way in mind. Go get 'em, man. Let's go ahead and take a look. Well, I'm not really positive how this whole thing's gonna play out. I don't really know where my hireling guy is at either. He's typically in here or around somewhere. Miss Kubota doesn't have anything to say, so let's go ahead and sprint down into this location, see if we can at least grab 2 guys. I'd feel a lot better if we had 2 guys. If we can only get 1, I suppose we'll make do with what we can get. There he is, Mr. Delilah. So we'll see what he's got on hand in just a minute. Make sure that none of my compatriots down here have anything to say to us. I don't see Mr. Clean around anywhere. He said he's got something to say, but I don't see him around. And Mr. Clean, oh, there he is. Let's go talk to Johnny Clean and see what we can do here. Johnny is hunched over his desk, idly fiddling with a cyber deck. He seems preoccupied. He looks up when you approach and his eyes narrow. Been making new friends out there, huh? Yeah, that's me, the friendly type. He frowns. Apparently so. You seem to have made a new friend in the Matrix, at least. Calls himself Baron Samdi. He's been asking about you on Shadowlands. He has a pretty distinctive icon. Skull face with a top hat. I can't tell what he wants, but the guy seems pretty serious. I wouldn't ignore this if I were you. Deckers have a way of making people's lives miserable if they're so inclined. You know anything about him? Johnny's janitor persona is gone, replaced by something colder and more dangerous. I did some checking, but didn't get much because he's new on the scene. He's no Wilson, though. Got a rep as a dreck-hot wire boy from what I hear. Never rides along with physical entry teams, though. Purely remote work. And Samdi, what's that? Baron Samdi's the name of a Loa, or a Haitian voodoo spirit. Sits at the crossroads of the living and the dead. Never heard of a spirit in the Matrix before. I've been around a long time, and I've seen a lot of avatars running around the tricks. A lot of them. You ask me, it's just some guy trying to look scary to make a name for himself. Think of it as a personal branding. What's Shadowlands? That's where the Shadow community goes to talk about anything, well, you know, shadowy. Who's planning what projects, who's hiring, which corp is screwing which, anything that affects Shadowrunners and how they make their cash. It's where I'd go to see if I could pick up any dirt about you. How long's he been looking for me? He's been spamming Shadowlands for the last hour. He's new on the scene, but everybody's talking about him. Even the hottest deckers like Dodger are saying he's a force to be reckoned with. Well, I guess he's not the patient type. Something I should know? Could be. I'll tell you after I talk to him. You know anything about giant magic indestructible bugs? Is that a joke? Nope, saw one beneath the Universal Brotherhood an hour ago. Bigger than a troll. What do you mean, indestructible? As in, I couldn't kill it. Whatever it is you've gotten into, Splattercat, you're in deep. From what I hear, the Brotherhood has members in high places, governments, corpse, law enforcement. You should be careful, chummer. That's enough talk. I guess I'll talk to the Baron. Alright, you can use my secure jack point. I've already set up a portal to Shadowlands. Feel free to jack in whenever you're ready. Let's do that. I don't have any cash, and any extra dosh we could pick up on the way would be very, very helpful, so... You're back. I'm ready now. I'll ride along with you. He's gonna go ahead and... Oh, he doesn't have anything. So I don't really know how this is gonna go. It's not gonna allow us to assign anything. Underneath every tab, there's no equipment. So, something to think about. I guess we'll just confirm for him. Bonsoir, mon ami. I'm pleased that we have a semi-private conversation. You must be careful with tour guides like your friend Johnny, though. You can't trust everyone you meet in the Matrix. Everyone on Shadowlands knows you're looking for me. Why spam? Somebody wishes to thank you for saving Marie-Louise from the Universal Brotherhood. The girl is quite precious. If harm were to come to her, he does not know what he would do. He also offers you his help. The insects you encounter, there's something, no? Something dark. To ignore them would be folly. There's much at stake here. Somebody knows you're after this woman, Jessica Watts, for your own reasons. He can help you get to her and defeat the bugs. I think I'm getting into a lot more than I bargained for. Oh, now, listen. Here's Samdi. The job will not be simple, nor will it be straightforward, but Samdi can guarantee that it will be dangerous. Telestrian Industries has been working for 2 years on a formula codenamed Aegis. They're working with another corporation, a foreign one, to refine it. This is their third attempt to get it right, and they believe that they have. Manufacturing began several months ago. Unfortunately, their manufacturing plant in the Columbia Valley was blown up. It could have been corporate espionage, or it could have been something else. This much is unknown. What we do know is that a large sample of the formula survived. So what does this have to do with Jessica and the Universal Brotherhood? We want Aegis because it kills bugs, big ones, like the ones you met at the Universal Brotherhood. If you want to go back there and bring the Watts woman to justice, you'll need it. As it so happens, somebody knows where the last sample was being kept. Hence the job at hand. We're going to break into the Telestrian Industries primary operation office complex here in Seattle. Aegis will be somewhere within that building. Once we find the sample, we liberate it for ourselves. You want me to break into one of the most influential corps in the Pacific Northwest? You gotta be kidding. Would that I were, but it's the only way. It's the only place to get what we need, but take heart, you have Samdi with you and he's clever in the ways of the Matrix. We cannot lose. So, will you do this thing? Will you ally with Baron Samdi? Yikes. Well, there's a lot of... Wow, that is a ton. I guess I'll go with, alright, I'm in. If these bugs are as dangerous as you say, there's gotta be somebody to save the world. Might as well be me. Ah, bon. Baron Samdi applauds you. We will do this job for the right reason, eh? Samdi will be part of this evening's event, but must remain remote. He will keep all of Seattle law enforcement and off-duty Telestrian security away while you locate the information we need from inside. How do we get in? Ah, the Baron will handle that as well. Telestrian guards will be rerouted through the building. With the right timing, no one will even know that you were there. But of course, even Baron Samdi cannot anticipate all possibilities, so tonight you must use your contacts to hire a team and travel to the Telestrian office complex downtown. You'll be contacted again when you've gained entrance. Lovely. It appears as though we can have a look around. I don't know what kind of trouble we can get into here, but... I guess it's not going to allow me to do that. Guess we'll bounce on out and then we'll see how this thing goes. Alright, so for Karma there, Johnny whistles a long, slow whistle. Holy crap. Telestrian Industries. You've hit the big time, chum. If you need a second decker, you might as well take one of the best. Means you, right? He sighs. Nah, I'm not an inside man anymore. My running days are over. There's an elf who owes me a favor. He goes by the name Dodger. You might have heard of him. He's one of the best deckers in Seattle, and this is me that's vouching for him. I'll get you his contact information. You'll know him by the way he talks, like he's a damn Charles Dickens novel. Great. Hey, what's up? We might need some new gear. Let's take a look and see what he's got for us. So he's got the Fairlight Excalibur. That's the solid gold deck that we were talking about in an earlier episode. He's also got level 3s of Blaster, Degrade. He's got level 3s of Firewall. Yikes, so equipping up could be a good plan. I wonder if I'm going to get a choice as to which job I want to hit up first. Let's see if we can figure out a way to figure which job's going to get hit absolutely first. Well, it looks like in my mission objectives, it only has the Union lined up. That's a little bit of a problem, because I would very much like to do the other job for 9,000 first. However, shy of having the money that Somdi just gave me, I don't see it happening. Let's see if we get... Oh, there it is. Okay, let's put together a team for the Renraku lab. So let's hit Nephilim first and see what they've got going. We've already got a Decker. I was very impressed with El Duce on the last run, and he's only going for 1,000 new yen? Really? Interesting. Well, let's take El Duce again, because we do need a cybered out warrior. We need a mage. And I'm pretty comfortable with, let's see, where is he? Gallowglass. I like his skill set. I've been happy with the way things have been going with him, so I think we're going to hire Gallowglass. And then finally, I think we're going to throw down a little bit of extra cash for Coyote, because why not? She's been fairly true to us before. We've never had any problems as we've been going in. And so she's got a Ruger Super Warhawk. That's a pretty good gun. She's also got an on-field AS7, also a pretty decent gun. This team's looking pretty top-notch. We've got ourselves the team from before. I don't like to mix things up too much. I was really impressed with the performance of this team last time, so I think that's what we're going to go with. We'll confirm it, and then let's head out and actually... Oh, did I accidentally just confirm? I'm going to assume that I did, but it'll be fine. Nothing ever goes wrong on these things. You leave Touristville behind and make your way into the Barrens proper, exiting civilization as you know it. With each step, the little order that exists falls away, taken over by anarchy in its purest form. All semblance of government oversight, corporate domination, and even media influence disappears, leaving an ermid, feral landscape of bleak desperation. Yet hidden in the wreckage of a suburb, Renraku Computer Systems has hidden some sort of R&D research lab, probably to take advantage of some old tech left after the Shio East nuclear power plant meltdown, or the crash that decimated the computer industry in '29. You find your way into the lab. The place has definitely seen better days. No security systems are online to greet you, just the ones made of meat. Maybe you can help a scientist make a life change. Yeah, maybe. Or this can go absolutely terrible. We're gonna go ahead and get ourselves locked in with, let's see here. Looks like we're fresh out of items. I suppose we'll take just an extra med kit. That should be fine. We threw a lot of grenades on the last go, unfortunately. And that's left us with somewhat of a lack of nice gear. If we end up jacking in, it'll let us choose then. One med kit. I don't really see us needing too much more than that. Let's run through everybody else. He's got a level 3 med kit. She's got Gallowglass has 2 level 1s. He can also heal, which is nice, so that'll work out fine. That tends to eliminate the need for a load of medkits. And then we've got her with 2 medkits. We'll be alright. I think maybe... Oh, it won't let me unequip theirs. I was going to unequip theirs and give them to Splattercat since he's going to be acting as our de facto healer throughout the course of this, but we'll probably be alright. I'm not terrified about this whole thing. We do have karma to allocate. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, in the last episode, I was a little let down by the fact that we weren't able to land the shots that I would like to land. And so let's consider for a moment just taking this big old grip of karma and let's put it into quickness. So there's 13 gone there, so we can get up to 7. We're going to want to go with a little bit of extra ranged combat, and so I think we should be in a good spot to actually land those hits we need to hit. Let's take a look around this place, and I doubt we're going to have time to finish this entire combat over the course of just this episode. But first things first, let's send El Duce ahead and have him take a look at what we've got. We got a gent here who says, "Oh, Drek." Let's have El Duce move into position there. What guns does he have on hand? He's got himself the FN Har too. Let's have him take a moment and he'll do an aim shot. And he missed with the aim shot. Just all kinds of bad luck recently with those kinds of shots. Not something that I'm entirely happy about, but while we're safe here, let's consider turning on Woogie. And now that Woogie's back in combat, he's all repaired up, we'll have him move somewhat into cover here. Take a couple shots if he can. I don't think I'm going to use an aim shot there because he doesn't have the AP to do it, but there's 12 damage on that security guard. That leaves us with 2 AP to fiddle with. And this is cramped quarters right here, which makes me very, very nervous, and that was a misclick. So I think what I'll do is we're just going to leave her out of the room for now because that misclick, I can only move her in. She can't really do anything. Let's have Gallowglass jump into the room with the intent. He's only got a pistol, so hopefully nothing terrible happens here. And we'll have him throw a ball lightning. That's a bit of overkill. We'll just do a mana ball, I think. Oh, he doesn't have enough AP. Well then, we'll have him just kind of throw a magic bolt. I don't know if it's going to hit. 58% chance. There's a 28 damage crit, so we'll take it. And then we'll move everybody else into nice cardboard box cover, I suppose. Hopefully the cardboard boxes of the future have all kinds of padding and otherwise... Oh, never mind, the door's right here. Wasn't really paying attention too well. Let's have her, I guess, move into the room with the last little bit of our movement points. We'll end the turn. Splattercat's got 2 AP left. We're going to use him as a... Why does El Duce have health gone? A little bit strange. Well, we'll use his 1 AP to move into the room, scope it out, and see what we've got going on. Use another one to get him in behind this pillar. We'll use 2 AP to bring Splattercat into the room. He'll hide behind this little banister. I do want Il Duce in the room because he brings the nukes. So we'll have him come in. He'll be able to drop AoEs on any location that we can point at. Coyote's going to be taking position behind this wall right here. Actually, we'll have her run up on the door, and we'll have her consider opening it on the next turn. We'll have Woogie come in since he's got a little bit of HP to play with. He's sort of our throwaway unit for the time being. I'm doing this mission first because I feel like we could really use that 9,000 nuyen before we get much further. Even with the expenditures, it puts us about 4,000, 5,000 ahead, which is nothing to scoff at. So let's end our turn there. Il Duce, we'll have him move down to the door here. He'll have 1 AP remaining. Let's have him snap that bad boy open, and hopefully this doesn't become too nasty. So we've got Coyote in position, and we've got Il Duce in position. We're going to move everybody up behind this wall right here, just kind of keep a nice flow going. So Gallowglass is holding up the rear. We'll have Woogie be a little bit adventurous and have him line up with everybody else because he's got a super killer hat. And if there's one thing I know about people with killer hats, it's that they do awesome stuff in combat. The enemy is getting a turn here, and I do hear the sound of doors opening up, but not in the good way. Oh, and there's a security Lone Star Enforcer. Let's go ahead and put a round of fire into him. There's 48 damage with that first burst. Very, very nice. Coyote, I think we're going to have to use a pistol with her, but she's going to step around. Oh, there's a guy right there, too. Oh, he's on Overwatch. That's funsies. That's funsies. So with an 81% chance to hit, there's 24 damage. We're going to use her last AP to get her behind a wall. I'm going to consider having Gallowglass move in out of cover, because with this LOS... Oh, never mind. That guy can still make that shot. Well, what we might consider, then, is dropping the nukes on one of the guys in this room. So let's think about a fireball to that location right there. And so there it is. It was weak, but he's going to be burning for the next turn or two. These guys are pretty heavily kitted out, so I would consider being careful about lumping us together too tightly. We may end up with a bit more ordnance being leveled at us than we'd like. So let's keep all of our targeting. There's 18 damage there. What I was saying is I'd like to keep our targeting somewhat focused on the first guy. So with a 53% chance Woogie can't come through for us, we are going to take our first retaliation. Burst fire has missed from our trolley friend here. He's been able to put 10 damage on Il Duce. Not exactly stellar, but we should be able to end the fight here. 12 damage puts him on his back, and it didn't even take a sizable payment of clandestine money. He was just easy. Let's go ahead and get Il Duce healed with this turn because we don't have much left facing us. There it is. And with the remaining AP, let me put a very accurate round, a Deadeye shot on the Lone Star officer there. We'll have Woogie take a couple shots since he kind of has terrible accuracy. A couple throwaway rounds aren't going to hurt us. Il Duce, he used up a lot of his rounds with that last burst, but we'll have him do a burst fire, which landed the 12 damage there. Very, very nice. Puts us in a nice situation. We'll have him reload for 1. And actually, while we're all in position, I think that's what I'm going to do, is we'll actually just have people go through and reload. So we do have another guy actually coming at us right now. Can she actually take a shot at him? No, but she can resituate to possibly. Actually, no, she can't. So I guess we'll just pass the turn and we'll see what this gent does. Oh, we got officers coming in from behind us. That is all bad. So with his turn, I think what I'm going to have him do... Ooh, we can either scramble for cover and force them to resituate. Or we can take a automatic fire and see if we can knock them down with AoEs. I think instead what I'm going to do is let's get ourselves into cover. I don't really want to risk... I'd rather take a shot from that one guy over there as he comes up behind us than any other situation. So let's get everybody back behind at least something here. We'll have Woogie come over here to absorb fire, bait a shot. Oh, I thought I had Woogie selected. Weak. Well, we weren't going to use their AP anyway, so it's fine. We were actually going to bypass the turn after this. Woogie's going to come down here and bait the shot from this Lone Star guy. And because our mage has a little bit of extra AP left, I'd like to consider putting an armor on Il Duce, since he's probably going to be the other target that they're going to think about blasting. So there we go. He's got armor +2 now. We've done the best we can with the AP that we have for the turn. And so yeah, there's a damn drone. So Woogie's taking a little bit of fire there. That was the intended consequence. He's going to run away. I'm not sure what his plan is. Hopefully there's no alarms or anything of that nature that are going to lay us low here. Il Duce's got a little bit of AP. We're going to have him burst fire. And he was actually able to insta-gib the first gentleman, so that puts us in a great spot. Let's have Il Duce with his final AP shift back to here. And the reason that I'm doing that is simple. I'd like to have Coyote in the front with shotgun blasts on this guy. So let's swap her out for the Spaz 10 or whatever this crazy automatic shotgun is she has. There's 20 damage. God, what an amazing shot. And there's another 20 damage. So this guy's hurting pretty bad at this point. I think we should have no problem taking him out with the remainder of our firepower. Go ahead and have Splattercat lay down the honors. And so there it is. Splattercat with his final AP left. I'm going to have everybody shift to this doorway. Actually, let's bypass a turn and see what's going to happen. I have no clue where those guys came from behind us. That put us in the sort of interesting situation of having to shift our flank in the middle of a combat, and I don't like that very much. So let's shift everybody this way. We'll take Coyote as our shock troop here. With 3 AP, she's going to get ready to handle whatever's on the other side of this door. The smell hits you like a fist. The tang of blood, the funk of animal foul, and something else. Something wrong. So we probably have Hellhounds coming in. That means we're going to want to stay distributed because Hellhounds always have AoEs available. We want to be distributed, we want to be ready, and we want to come through this door like a bat out of hell. Quite literally, if you're facing hell, you want to swing like hell. And so let's get everybody just kind of into a position. What is this over here? Let's have Woogie take a look at whatever it is we're able to manipulate. Oh, he was able to trip through the vent. Interestingly enough. Okay, so he can kind of sneak around for a little bit of clandestine information gathering. I think I saw over here, though, that this computer terminal was open, so let's check that before we break off the episode here. The terminal has been left unlocked with root access. Let's dig through the files. There are some encrypted log files that were recently accessed. Let's walk away. I'm going to have my mage swap places over here with Splattercat in the next turn. And I don't suppose we have any of that zebra meat left. That's going to hurt us. Let's go ahead and swing out over here. He's going to take a look at this terminal. Come on, you can do it. He doesn't have the AP to get here. That's fine. Before we end the turn, though, I'd love to take a look at this terminal. Oh, did that open? I thought I heard that hiss and open. In any case, we're positioned for combat, so it's all good. We don't really have cover, but given the amount of HP we're able to take out, I think we'll be fine. Let's take a look at the first log file. We got the shipment from the sentries in Shaanxi today. 8 of them all told. They're all medicated daily with a sedative that prevents their gaze from affecting us. They don't try and escape or bite the equipment either. We'll have to keep adjusting the doses so that we can get valuable combat data out of them. Having something this deadly at the lab always gets me on edge. One wrong dose of those meds and someone could lose an arm. That or the guys upstairs will just lock the doors and let the damn things eat us. Yikes. Alright, the awakened security sentries were in varying condition when they arrived. Their health is noted below. Yikes. Alright, well let's go to the next log. Week 2, the reaction test trials were finished today. Several of the subjects have an uncanny intelligence and have no problem solving logic puzzles ahead of schedule. Subject 4 continues to be the standout performer in these experiments. Her sensory reaction times and problem-solving skills rival that of chimpanzees. Our benefactors will be pleased if we can begin a breeding program based on her specific traits. I've already taken a sample of her DNA in advance of beginning the combat trials in case something goes wrong. The Awakened Security Sentries project has reached final testing stages. Preliminary human experiments will begin within the next 6 months. I've already tested the matter with the tier. Okay, well, we'll download all the research data. Good, we've got Renrocker research data. We'll be able to sell that for a nice little sum down the line. Let's get back into position here, and we'll kind of see how this whole thing goes. Woogie, I want you front and center, although this does make us nade bait right now. And I guess I'll have El Duce ready on this other side. I want him lined up directly so that he can spray some bullets if he needs to. Gallo Glass will kind of adapt as we go along, and let's have Coyote pop this. Actually, we'll pop it open in the next episode. We're at 30 minutes, so my name is Splattercat. Thanks for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for another thrilling episode. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. I'm having a lot of fun with the combat, so I hope you'll choose to join me next time for Shadowrun Returns. Take care out there, everybody, and be careful when you're running through them shadows, chummers.